Meet Walter. His job is on the line because his boss just told him that he has less than a month to get all 80 terabytes of their users' personal data off of their on-prem file servers and into OneDrive. And Walter's file servers are old and slow, and the network connection between there and the cloud is just 100 megabit site-to-site VPN, so it's only big enough for day-to-day business and can't support a full data migration at the same time. Now imagine for a second, you are Walter. How are you going to solve this problem and save your job? Don't know? Well, before you dust off your resume, let me tell you about the M365 Migration Accelerator. And if you're a Microsoft partner or managed service provider, I suggest you take this open source solution, build your own coolness on top of it so you can accelerate what you offer to your customers as well. Let's build this solution real fast in Azure, and then I'll tell you how it works. Now under the video is a link for this GitHub repo, and if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a Deploy to Azure button for the commercial and government cloud, so you can pick whichever environment is right for you. This will open up the Azure portal where you can deploy the solution through an easy-to-use template. And I've just filled it out real quick and clicked Deploy, and that'll take about 10 minutes. While that's going on, let me explain what we're building and how it's going to help all of you Walters out there. When we think about migrations, we need to know three things: what we're migrating, what the source is, and what the destination is. Now our destination today is going to be OneDrive for Business. Now if you're in Walter's situation and you don't have the bandwidth or connectivity to move data over the wire for your migration, you can use a solution called the Azure Data Box. Data Box is a physical appliance that'll be sent to you, and it's just got a ton of disk space. Just copy your file server data onto the appliance, and then it gets shipped off to an Azure data center near you. The folks over there will import your data into your own storage account, and then you can do the next steps. And this is where the solution that we're building comes in. The solution will come with a storage account that's secured by Azure Private Link, your own virtual network with the Azure Bastion service so that you can remote into any of the VMs that we're building. And since these are your VMs, you can optionally add them to your own domain if you want to. Once you have the solution built, you'll need a migration manager. This is an agent-based solution that'll actually perform the data moves, and it's real easy to set up. Oh, and since this solution is built on top of Azure VMs, everything's running right next to where the Office services are, so this is going to go really fast. Now let's walk through the deployment in detail so you can go test it out for yourself. Select the subscription that you want to build in, and I do suggest that you provision a new resource group. That way, everything for this solution is in one place, and you can delete the group once you're done. Now I'm going to be using a name prefix of M365 MIG for all of my resources. This way I can tell that they're all related to the same solution. For the region here, I'll just use the East US since that's close by me, and click Next. The name for the virtual network is going to be M365 MIG-VNet. And we'll be creating multiple different subnets here for your jump host and your private link and your gateway. And since this is a self-contained solution, you don't need to change any of the IP address ranges here. However, if you are planning to connect these VMs to your own Active Directory, you'll probably need VNet peering, which means that all of your address ranges need to be unique. I'll just take all the defaults here and click Next. For the Bastion instance, we were going to call this M365 MIG-Bastion, and the default address works for me. Click Next. And we'll be using the same naming convention for our VMs, and now you need to decide the VM sizes and how many VMs you need. Now, if you have a data set like Walter's 80 terabytes spread across a few hundred users, then I'd suggest you scale all the way up to 9 VMs. But if you have a smaller workload or okay with things taking just a little bit longer, you can go with fewer or smaller VMs. So click over here to change the VM size, and we've got a few different options. So which one is right for you? Well, each migration agent on its own can process 10 jobs at once by default. So the more CPU and RAM you give it, the more you can get done. But keep in mind those bigger VMs do have an increased cost. But don't forget that this is the cloud and you can change the VM size after they're built. It just takes a simple reboot. For now, I'll pick the D4S V4. It has 4 cores, 16 gigs of RAM, and it's on the newest version of that SKU. The next option here is for the Azure Hybrid Use Benefit. This is a feature of your Software Assurance Windows licensing. If you have this, then the cost of the VMs drops significantly because you already paid for the Windows license, so you don't have to pay for it here. Next, enter your local admin and password that you want for these VMs, and click Next. You're going to be getting a premium Azure Files storage account, and we'll name this M365 MIGSTOR1. But one thing to be aware of with storage account names is they must be globally unique, which means you won't be able to name your storage account like mine. Now the file share here is migration-data, and that name is just fine for me. And as for the file size, Azure Premium Files allows up to 100 terabytes in size, and that'll also give you 100,000 IOPS of storage performance. But in Walter's case, we just need 80 terabytes. Now you will be getting a private endpoint with this file share, so everything will remain secure. The next steps here are optional. But if you're planning on joining your VMs to your domain or integrating this with your own DNS solution, you'll need to change this to Yes. This is going to build a dedicated VM as a DNS server so that you can integrate them together. You'll just give it a name and set your existing DNS server IPs to forward the traffic to. In Walter's example here, we don't really need to do this, so I'm going to change it back to No and click Next. Now review everything and make sure that it all looks good to you, and when you're ready, click Create. And here's the environment that I built way back in the beginning. Let's click over on VM1 and then click at the top on the Connect button. Now select Bastion. Just enter your username and password and click Connect. On the Windows desktop, open the File Explorer. You'll already have a network drive mapped and ready, and this goes back to that private link to the Azure File Share. And I pre-staged some user shares here, and that came from my Databox upload. Next, go to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. On the bottom left, go ahead and click SharePoint, and then on the left, click Migration. Welcome to the Migration Manager. Here you can set up your migrations for your other cloud solutions as well, not just from your file servers, which is what we'll be doing today. Now, file share migrations have 3 different sections: scans, migrations, and agents. The first thing we'll need is some agents. Now you see I already have one agent deployed, so let's walk through one together. Click the Add button and click Download the agent setup file. Once that completes, you can go to your Downloads folder, copy that file, and then RDP over to your next VM, copy the files onto that VM, and run the install. Now when you open this, there are 2 different experiences. If your VM is joined to the domain, you'll see this. You just click Continue, then you'll be prompted for your SharePoint admin credentials. Now you need to provide domain credentials, which will set this agent up as a service. And then you would click Install. Now the other way is on our non-domain joined system, like Walter's. This will set up the agent as a Windows app. So just click Install and you'll be prompted for your SharePoint admin creds. And now the app is authenticating over to your tenant, and you are ready to go. Now the section at the bottom here is to allow you to test your SMB file share path. And the account that you set up the agent with needs to have read access to that file share for the migrations to succeed. I'll put in the full path to our Azure Private Link file share and click Test. And if you see that message at the bottom, you are good to go. Back in the SharePoint admin portal, you can see we've got our new agent registered. Just complete those steps on all of your other VMs. Then go to the Migrations tab. Here we'll set up the migration jobs that'll copy the data from our file share into OneDrive. So we're almost done. Click to add a task, and you have 2 choices here: single or bulk migration. Just for a quick example, let's select the single side. You'll enter the file share path and click Next. Select your destination type, which for us will be OneDrive, and click Next. You put in the destination URL for that OneDrive user and click Next. And now you select the location to copy to, which is our Documents folder. Then you just give your job a name. You can run it now, schedule it for later, or you can even run it as a scan or preserve the file share permissions. Now I'm not going to click Run here because that was just an example, because the more useful scenario is to do this in bulk. And this is going to leverage a CSV file to do all the things we just walked through for all of your users at once. And there's a doc here that shows how to set up your CSV file, and that's linked in the video description as well. The first column is for our source file share path. Columns B and C should not be used, so just leave them blank. Column D is for the destination URL. E is for that Documents folder, and F would be an optional subfolder. Now for Walter's users, we'll be migrating our data to their OneDrive Documents folder and putting all of that into a subfolder called Migration Folder. From there, the users can do whatever they want with it. Now once you've created your CSV, you select Bulk here, and then click Next. Now just hit Browse and select your CSV, and then click Next. Just give your migration job a name, and I'll select to run it all right now. Back on the migration screen, we see our jobs are already queued up and ready to go, and before you know it, the jobs will be complete. And if you go back to OneDrive and look at that migration folder, we can see there is all of that user's data. So thanks to the M365 Migration Accelerator and the DataBox solution, Walter not only saved his job, but his boss is giving a promotion, so Walter's going to go out for ice cream. What about you? You can deploy this solution next, or maybe you have some questions you want to go over first. Under the video, you'll find 2 more links to contact my team, Fast Track for Azure, or our sister team, Fast Track for M365. Just tell them that you need help with the M365 Migration Accelerator and that the Azure Academy sent you. And then they'll take care of all the rest. And since you're thinking about migrations, you should check out my migration series so that you can be ready for everything else. Happy learning.